and that's how I end up, being in the Full Force clique. So
Gotcha.
on the TFO album, I programmed beats for him, for the album, for the personality and all that type of stuff. And I did, I'm always in the basement doing beats, messing around with tracks and all that. And people always come down here and want it. So I was working on the beat one time. Paul Anthony from Full Force came down, heard it. And that song ended up being Alice, I Want You Just For Me. So, and then I was working on the beat one time, and Kango came in the basement. And he said, that's not blah, 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 blah. Right? And then it ended up being Howie's Teed Off, because he came up with the hook. Howie's Teed Off. So that's end up Howie's Teed Off. Now, by the time we got to Whistle, the reason why we got Whistle and the producing Whistle was when we did Howie's Teed Off and the record was out, right? Kango looked at, because back in the days you look and you read credits and stuff like that. So it says, the writer's credit was Full Force. My real name is Howard, so it said Howard Thompson. And then it says UTFO. And Kango was heated because he wanted it to say Kango, because he's the one that wrote the hook. But the thing is, Full Force is, that's how Full Force is. If Paul Anthony writes a song, it says written by Full Force. If B Fine writes a song, it says written by Full Force. So they took that same thing and applied it to UTFO without asking, apparently, because Kango was heated.
Right.
So, he was like, yo, man, let's produce our own group. Because they don't be giving, he was like, yo, Full Force don't be giving us credit, blah, 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 blah. So he know those guys, from Whistle that lived on his block and around his way. So he came in the basement and he heard me working on a track, which ended up being, Nothing Serious, Just Bug It. So I don't know if you, do you used to watch like Bugs Bunny in the mornings?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. You remember Little Red Riding Hood?
Absolutely.
When she was going to grandma's house? What was she singing?
Right.
So that's where I got the melody from, but I've sampled a word called bug, and I played bug, 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 bug. So that's how we came up with the song, Nothing Serious, Only Bug It.
Wow. At this point, I would like to invite a special guest. He's one of your students. He goes by the name of Rob Swift from the legendary X-ecutioners.
Right.
And he wants to ask you a few questions.
All right, cool.
Rob, it says you need the latest Instagram to join, so you may have to update it real quick. But his questions pertain to this time era. So if he can update his Instagram real quick and join us right back to answer some of those questions. We'll come back to that topic. Let me know when you're ready, Rob. Can you take us back to the sessions for Just Buggin'? What was that like?
It was like a regular session, I had the beat, we were just I don't know, I hope the DJ Rick ain't on here, but I did the scratching on
Okay.
This Buggin'. I did the scratches on there.
Okay.
I did the scratches on some other stuff back then too, but I ain't gonna tell you which ones. So yeah, so it was a nice session. It was we didn't do a lot in the basement. We did more of it in the studio. Because that's when we was with Chubb's first album. and with UTFO's first album and with Whistle's first album was all in a professional studio as far as the final product. You know, so we always end up doing the demo first and then taking it to the studio to finish up, you know, doing the scratches and all that other stuff, all the other elements, you know, that went into the song was done at a professional studio. So it was, you know, it was a good studio session. We playing around, joking around, stuff like that.
So let me see if Rob is ready. Says waiting.
Let me mention,
Yes, sir.
when it comes to demos, you know, while we waiting on Rob, there was demos that I did for, okay, like when Bobby Brown left on New Edition, he didn't know if he wanted to be a singer or a rapper. He was trying to figure out. So Dr. Ice brought him to my basement and we did a demo called B Brown. So, you know, I was messing around with Bobby in my basement, you know, who was working on a song called B Brown and stuff like that, but he ended up doing R&B. So, you know, that's in the archives. And the other demo I did was on Bismarck. Play the music with your mouth, Biz. I did the demo to that.
Wow. Fun facts. He was about to join. Let me try him one more time. If not, I'll just ask his questions for him.
I see my cousin Mark. What up, Mark?
There we go.
My man.
Yo. What up? What up?
In the hood, what's real in the field, son?
Yo, Howie T, Sin-seer, what up, man?
What's up, legend?
Yo, this is an honor for me to be here. Howie T is a huge influence on my career, on my style. When I record scratches, man, and I'm in the studio, many times I've channeled Howie T and his approach to recording scratches, man. So earlier today, when I found out that Howie T was gonna be on your show, Sin-seer, I was like, yo, I gotta send you some questions to ask on my behalf, and you were kind enough to invite me to be a part of this live. So here I am.
Yes, sir.
Word.
Honor having you two today. So we were talking about just bugging, and you had a question about that?
Well, all right. So with regards to, actually, yo, if you don't mind, Sin-seer, I'd like to backtrack a little.
No doubt.
Howie, you were talking about Howie's Teed Off. I did not know that Kango wrote the hook. So that is a cool little anecdote regarding the song. But me personally, being a DJ, I was always fascinated by the scratches on songs. So, for example, the first record I ever purchased with my own money was Roxanne, UTFO. So I had no idea you produced the track. That's really cool to know. But obviously, Kango, educated rapper, you know, the Doc, MD, you know, they all killed it verbally, vocally with regards to the raps and shit like that. But Mixmaster Ice, the scratches on that song just really stood out. Same thing with Howie's Teed Off. Howie's Teed Off for me is what you would call a scratch clinic. And what I want to know is, and I got the song, like, I pulled out my little copy of it, and I have the song here queued up. I'm just going to play a little excerpt. These scratches, man, the scratches you did with Cool Is Back. Crazy. It's coming up. All right, here we go. Yo, that there's like an offbeat, on-beat style to your scratches that I would just like to know, where did it come from? Was that something that you learned from watching other DJs? If so, who? Was that style of scratching something that you were taught? If so, who taught you that?
Well, here's the thing. When it comes to me scratching on records, I always see the turntable and scratching as an instrument.
Right.
Right. So anytime you hear like a jazz musician or anybody that does a solo, it's never something written. You know what I'm saying? You go by feel.
Right.
When I was doing that, that's what I was feeling.
Wow, that's crazy. That's
crazy.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It wasn't something. It was never something I did before, and then I decided to put it on the record. I know I had this much bars to do some scratching it. You know what I'm saying? That was my solo piece. So I just went for it.
Yo, and can I ask you this? Like, with regards to your scratches and how you approached recording them, I'm wondering if you had a favorite scratch. And I don't want to necessarily put words in your mouth, but, you know, I'm a geek about this stuff, man. Like, I know all the records you've scratched on. I have my own suspicions of songs that scratches appear that other DJs got credit for that I have a feeling you might have done. I guess what I want to know is, was there a particular technique like the chirp or the stab that you like doing? Because when you scratched, there was a signature to your style, and I felt like there were certain scratches that I knew you were going to do. It was just a matter of what you were going to do with them rhythmically, but I knew that that technique was going to come out during your solo. So were there certain scratches that you favored in the recording studio?
Oh no, I just do whatever fits that song. You know what I'm saying? If it fits, because there's a lot of times when, a scratch that ended up being the final product wasn't the first time I did it. You know what I'm saying? I did a couple of takes. You know what I'm saying? I did a couple of takes because out of the way I did it, didn't really fit. Or sometimes I used a different sound, and that sound didn't fit.
Right.
So I went and I try to find a record that would fit that sound, you know what I'm saying, that style, you know what I'm saying, the beat, and plus, when you hear those little pockets between the kick and the snare, something, I don't try to make it busy. You know what I'm saying? I don't do a whole bunch, and it has to be ripped. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It got to be a situation where if the drums were dropped out, you could still dance or move whatever to the scratch. You know what I'm saying? I just don't be scratching. Bang.
Yeah. For you, it wasn't about going crazy. It was about serving the music that you were scratching to.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
You still have to give it a rhythm.
Right,
so
right.
If the drum drop out or whatever, you still have, you know what I'm saying?
Now, Sin-seer, you had asked me about Only Buggin' because you guys were talking about it. I'm curious to know, did you do the scratches on Only Buggin' or was it Silver Spinner? Because you did the scratches.
Yeah.
Now, so I knew it. And like, this is the first time that I'm interacting with you. I've never had the pleasure of meeting you, but I knew whenever I listened to that song, that's Howie T. I know that's Howie T because, again, you had a signature to the way you articulated your scratches. It was like your voice. And I had heard enough of your work to know that wasn't Silver Spinner. Now, I guess my question was Silver Spinner an actual DJ? Like, was he a DJ in Whistle, or was that like a guy they made up?
Oh, no. No, they had a DJ called Silver Spinner.
Okay. All right.
He's even in the video.
Okay. All right. Okay. Because I suspect sometimes, whether or not, because back then, like around the 80s, although DJs were prevalent in music, gradually you started to see the focus shift from DJs to rappers. And,
I always felt like something's up here. Like, is there a silver spinner? And if so, why does he sound like Howie T? Because that to me is Howie T. But that makes sense. They had a DJ, but for whatever reason, was it that you produced the track, so you felt, let me just add the scratches the way I want them to sound?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Got it. Yo, and another question I got is, did you ever compete in any of the organized, legitimized DJ competitions like the
Oh,
New Music Seminar Battle, the DMC? Back then, you know, cats like Johnny Juice, Cheese would compete in these battles and record music. And I always wondered, damn, has Howie T battled? Like Cutmaster DC battled, Cash Money, Jeff, and you were that was your era. You know what I mean? So I always wondered if you competed as well.
no, I never competed because I never saw myself as that type of a DJ.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I competed one time at a block party.
Mm.
No, it wasn't even a block party. There was a party at it's known as the Burger King party. There's a Burger King in Brooklyn that we set up in the parking lot, and I battled against this guy named Fashion. I don't know if you heard of Fashion.
Fashion, was this Fashion from the Beatnuts or someone else?
No, it was someone else.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's my son.
What up?
So I battled against him. That was the only battle really I've ever done.
Okay.
The way I believe I won. I mean, it wasn't if you win, there's a prize. It was just that, it was a battle.
Right. Gotcha. Yeah.
So I threw on some handcuffs, and I was cutting with handcuffs on. I was playing, I was cutting Pump You Up, pump, pump, pump.
Yeah. Trouble Funk.
I went pump it up. I stopped the record, and then I played a beat. Then I banged out a beat on the label. So the needle would pick up a beat.
That's sick.
So I would do big beats. Boom,
wow.
Boom, boom, boom.
Wow.
And then throwing Pump It Up.
Yeah.
And then pump it up. Pick it,
right.
Boom, boom, boom.
Sick.
And then throw the record in.
That's sick.
So and then one time, I think in that same battle, I threw on blindfolds and was cutting up. So that was the only battle I did. But the competition,
that's crazy.
All that, I just never got into that because, I think I was like producing by then.
Right.
I wasn't DJing. The last person I DJed for was Chub Rock.
Right. And yo, Sin-seer, I just got two more questions, man, and I'm gonna
do your thing.
Howie, what I would like to know is, what advice do you have for DJs today that scratch? And I ask because a lot of the modern DJs that are out now, they'll sit at home, practice for 2, 3, 4 hours, and then post a video of themselves scratching it up over a beat. But with regards to those skills transferring over to the recording studio, you really don't see it. And I wonder, like, how do you feel about the way DJs approach scratching today in comparison to your day? For example, you had Johnny Juice, who was a beast, competed, but also worked with rappers and made sure that his scratches got on Public Enemy songs. You had Mixmaster Ice, again, another beast. You could tell by listening to him that he practiced hard, but it wasn't something that he just did in the bedroom. Like, you heard Mixmaster Ice in the recording studio make music. Jazzy Jeff, Cash Money, DJ Aladdin. I could go on and on. Obviously you, Howie T. Whereas today, you have kids, it seems, that focus only on the practicing aspect of scratching, but don't really get with rappers and make music. And I was wondering, what are your thoughts on that? Like hip hop and how DJs are involved with the culture the music specifically?
Well, the thing is with the DJs, I didn't even know there was DJs out. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of, artists that's out there that go and perform and stuff like that.
Right.
The one thing you don't hear anymore, you don't hear an artist mention they DJ. There's no song out now for a DJ. You had Jam Master Jay, Run DMC made a record about Jam Master Jay. LL made a record about, Cut Creator. You know what I'm saying? UTFO made a song about Mixmaster. You know what I'm saying? So DJs are not part of, the music industry, to me. So when
do you think there's something DJs could do to change that? Is my question. Like, do you think that we have the power to change that? Why were DJs playing such an integral part in hip hop in the 80s and they aren't now? Was that something that you guys put your foot down and you guys were in the studio like, nah, this song gotta have scratches? Or
no, it has nothing to do with that, because a lot of times, most of the time, like 99% of the time, the DJs back in my days are the ones that also end up being the producers. You know what I'm saying? So they come up with the beat, you know what I'm saying, for the artist to rap, to rap on, and then they just implement their scratching in it. You know what I'm saying? You have to see your scratching as an instrument.
A part of the beat.
Right. A part of the beat. Because, these guys that's in their bedrooms now or wherever, practicing, I'm assuming they're practicing hoping to be somebody's DJ to perform on stage. You know what I'm saying? So if there's a new artist that's out and they're looking for a DJ to go on tour with, they'll remember seeing this, seeing their practice on, Instagram or YouTube or whatever and pick them. You know what I'm saying? What DJs need to do now is get back to producing. And then they could implement their scratching in the song. You know what I'm saying? They have to encourage the artists who they DJing for to make a song about them. You know what I'm saying? There's no song about a DJ no more at all. You know what I'm saying? DJs is like cut out of the, the hip hop, recording industry.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's like basically you got to create your own avenue to make music as a DJ, and then you have the control, the say to put scratches on a song. Exactly. You can't expect a rapper to create that opportunity for you, especially these days in 2021. Rappers just want all the attention. So if you're a DJ out there and you're practicing your scratches and you spend 3-4 hours in your bedroom only to post a video of yourself on Instagram, you're not really experiencing the potential of getting your talent and creativity out there. And Howie T is one of those DJs from the 80s that produced his own music and then made sure there were scratches to complement that production. And because of that, younger kids like myself got inspired. And here I am today. I look back at my career and a lot of what I did was inspired by cats like Howie T, Johnny Juice, Cut Creator, Jam Master Jay, Mixmaster Ice. On my IG, I have a DJ school, and on my IG, I have a class online videotape that I threw up for free to just inspire people. And I talk about the Mixmaster Ice scratch. And at some point, I'm pretty sure I'm going to talk about the Howie T combo on Howie's Teed Off. So scratching, I guess the point that I'm trying to make for all the DJs out there, scratching isn't just something that you do on IG. Like, you could put scratches on records, man. And at some point, we as DJs got to think beyond social media and make music, because that's where this art form comes from. The hip hop production, you know what I'm saying? So, yo, man, I could go on and on. I told Sin-seer, yo, man, Sin-seer, I just want to ask 2 or 3 questions and then I'll bounce. But obviously that turned into like 10 questions, man. This was awesome. Sorry to take over the interview.
Nah,
Sincere.
hey,
It's all
two
good.
legends.
It's all good, partner. It's
Two
all
Word,
good.
legends
man.
in the building. Hey, I could sit here all night. I appreciate your
Yeah,
time,
man. Right on, man.
Swift.
And yo, Howie T, man, it's an honor to meet you, bro. And hopefully, wait, are you in New York or
No, I'm in Orlando. I'm in
Oh, you're in
Orlando.
Orlando. All right,
Yeah.
man. Hopefully, I'll make it down there at some point when COVID calms down, and I'll meet you in person and shake your hand, man. You've been an influence on myself, and you're an influence on DJs today that don't even know it. Like those combos on how he's teed off, I hear dudes do it now, and they don't even realize where those combos came from. That kids like Qbert, Mixmaster Mike, D-Styles were studying you. You know what I mean? And myself and shit like that, man. So, yo, respect, man. And Sincere, thanks for having me on.
Absolutely.
Yo,
Thank you for joining us.
and when you get a minute, man, just DM me, man, and we could just chop it up.
Yo, you're going to probably regret offering me that, man, because I'm going to be pounding you down like every day, man. Yo, thank you very much, man. Peace out.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Yep.
I think you got to hit your,
Yep.
there you go. Have a happy Easter.
Yeah, man.